Hello everyone, welcome back to our visual programming course. In this video we are going to see the iteration structures. Previously we saw the list box and combo boxes in these series. In this video we will see the loop structure and the control structures. Looping refers to the repeated execution of statements, which means that a certain statement will be in the program will be executed repeatedly, and it comes in very handy because it means that you can repeat operations as many times as you want without having to write the same code each time. So say for example you want to execute a certain code a certain number of times. So rather than copying and pasting the same code again and again, what we can do is we can make use of these looping structures. A repetition statement allows you to specify that an application should repeat an action while some condition remains true. As long as a condition is remaining true, the statements will be executed, and when the condition becomes false, the statement the execution of the structure will jump out and continue with the balance of the code. So looping refers to the repetition of a particular statement, and you don't have to write the code again and again to perform a particular task, and as long as a condition remains, you can ask the program to repeat the code block. See, here we have an example. See this example. We want to write the code 10 times. We want a particular code to be executed 10 times. So this program, as you can see, this program is about calculating the bank balance after 10 years. So the interest rate is provided offered for us. Interest rate is given. Interest rate is 5%. So it becomes 1.05, which means 5% means 100% plus 5, so that it becomes as balance amount plus interest. Balance amount is considered to be 100% and interest amount is 5%, so 100 plus 5, it becomes as 105. So since we want to convert it to percentage, we are just dividing it by 100 so that it becomes 1.05. So each time you multiply the balance amount by this interest amount 1.05, it becomes added with the interest and balance. So the particular statement has to be run 10 times, as you can see. So you have to run 10 times and then you have to show the balance. So rather than repeating it again, what we can do is we can make use of the loop structures. So sometimes you may want to change it to 100 times or 25 years. If it is 25 years, we have to repeat it for 25 times. So you have to hard code every time you need to change. Rather than doing these tedious tasks, what we can do is we can make use of the looping structures. In C#, as we can remember from a Java component, Java subject, the fundamental programming subjects we studied, the loop comes in three flavors in C#: while loop, do loop, and for loop. In addition to these, there is another loop type. It is called enhanced for loop. We will see that also. So these three are the primary looping structures found in C#, and we will look one by one with examples. So each type will be explained with the examples. We will see one by one. So first is while loop. The Boolean test in a while loop takes place at the start of the loop cycle, and the while statement executes a statement or a block of statements until a specified expression becomes false. And if the test evaluates to false, then the loop cycle is never executed. Instead, the program execution jumps straight to the code following the loop structure. So these are the basics about while loop. The syntax, as you can see, it starts with a while keyword and test is done first. So when the test evaluates true, then only the loop jumps inside, and the code or code block or statements or the code block will be executed as long as this test evaluates true. So say for example we are going to execute the statement 10 times, so we will test by having some boolean operation. We will test whether the number of times is not exceeding 10 times. So as long as it becomes 1, it will be added here, the code here will be executed, and then the loop counter variable will be incremented, and then it becomes 2, again it is executed, the counter variable will be incremented by 1 another, so again it becomes 3, and it executes 10 times. So after executing 10th time, the counter variable will become as 11, and it goes back here and test. If it becomes 11, it becomes false, and then the loop will jump out and the balance of the code will be executed. This is how the while loop works, and it is called entry control loop because the loop structure is tested, the condition is tested first at the entry, and then the code will be executed. If the test is false at the beginning, the loop, the body of the loop will not be executed. That's why it is called entry control loop. Here we have an example where we have added one list box, and we would like to add the numbers from 1 to 10 inside the list box. Here you can see 1 through 10, it is added to the list box. We already saw how we can add item to the list box. We have declared a counter variable, it is called I, int I, and the first thing happens is it clears the list box. It is not related to the loop structure. So here the test is done. So as long as I is less than or equal to 10, as long as I is less than or equal to 10, this code block will be executed. This code block will be executed from this point, right? Will be executed. So first time the I is declared as 1, now it is 1. So 1 is less than 10, it is true. So this code will be executed. 1 will be added here, I.to string, so 1 will be added here. 1 is added. I++, it is a incremental operation. So 1 becomes 2, again it goes back. So 2 is compared, 2 less than or equal to 10, it is true. Again it is run. So 2 is added. This becomes 3, and repeatedly it is done 10 times. So after the 10 is also added, this I becomes 11. It is tested here, 11 less than or equal to 10, it becomes false. So when it becomes false, the loop stops and jumps out to the balance of the code. This is how it works. The second example, it is the reverse of what we did previously. Initially we are declaring the variable as 10 and list box is cleared. Now we are doing the comparison the reverse. So I greater than or equal to 1. So now it is 10, it is true. So 10 is added first time. 10 becomes 9, it goes back and tested. 9 greater than or equal to 1, it is true. So 9 is added. 9 becomes 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. So it is tested. Yes, it is true. 1 is also added. So after adding 1 like this, it becomes a 0. So it goes here with 0. 0 greater than or equal to 1, it is false. Then it jumps out. So this is how the while loop works, and we will see another example in the screen. So this is a practical example. Here we would like to calculate the we are going to enter the current balance in a bank and then the annual interest rate, and we would like to see how long it will take for us to get a particular target balance. So we are giving current balance as the input and interest rate as the input, and the target balance we would like to have is also given as input. Okay, and then we calculate how long it will take, how many years will it take. So we will see the example here. Balance amount is taken from the balance text box, and then rate is taken from the rate text box and divided by 100 so that it becomes the percentage, and then 1 is added, so that the balance will become balance plus interest rate. Now target is taken from the target text box. Counter variable here is years. Counter variable, as we did for previous example, we had counter variable as I. So this time instead of I, we are getting a counter variable as years. So the test is balance less than or equal. We can have equal also here, the target balance. So as long as the balance, the current balance is less than the target balance, this code will be executed. So balance is multiplied by balance and rate. Okay, so this can be rewritten as balance multiplication equal to equal rate. Shorthand can be done, right? So similar can be done, and then years added. If it is 1, it will become 2, like that. It is added. First time it becomes 1, and then 2, 3, like that. So as long as it remains the balance amount remains less than the target amount, this code will be executed. Once it exceeds the target amount, it tries to exceed the target amount, automatically it jumps out. So here we are counting the number of years. Actually we are counting the number of years.